and the other emailed, and he emailed me back and said that he can't make it, but he wants to just watch it later. So.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
So I guess we're supposed to design some experiments. And you're gonna be an archaeologist or something, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're the one with all the knowledge. You're gonna be able to design great experiments.
I'm the one who wants all the knowledge, not someone who particularly has all the knowledge. There's a difference.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know, because I know we're supposed to post the link of our recording. Are we supposed to write something up?
I think he just posts the link.
Okay.
He said he in the video of the main screen. He said he watches it later. So.
Okay.
Hi. In the future.
Hey, what?
Is that the professor's name?
What was that?
What?
I didn't understand what you said. All right. So, if we have unlimited budget and unlimited time, what are some experiments we would do with tectonic plates?
Well, if we really had unlimited time, then we could just wait, kind of see, watch it. I don't know. Are we trying to prove the theory of tectonic plates, or just the different aspects of tectonic plates, I guess, would still prove its existence?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just anything we wanted to explore about it, is I think what he was trying to say, because he gave the example of we could put very accurate GPS nodes all over the world, and then we could measure how much they're moving. So I guess, I mean, I was interested a little bit in, especially when in the readings when they're talking about Iceland and stuff like that, how it's right on that mid-Atlantic or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Plate.
Fault, those plates.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
So I'm sure there's lots of geological studies going on there. So that's probably where I would go to do a study. And I would probably do something along the lines of probably a frequency thing of how many volcanic events happen over a period of time, or because they were talking about there's also those almost like explosions of water, where it's so I'd be interested to find out how often those happen, and when they do, how often is it, a really big one compared to other ones? Because they're saying is like waking up and having multiple Amazon rivers or whatever in your backyard, which would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's just crazy how fast that would come.
Yeah.
Water.
So I think that would be the first one, would be to study the frequency of those events, and who knows, maybe even go as far as to figure out how many gallons of water actually come out when it happens.
Yeah, and if we had unlimited time and money, then we can do that for every spot on the Earth, and then kind of compare where these activities most frequently happen, what type of activities, and that would prove you should be able to see kind of the line where the faults, different tectonic plates meet, and that would prove that there's something there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's another experiment we could do?
If we were really rich, we could invest a lot of time and money into creating very sensitive seismology machines that would pick up on the different vibrations of the moving tectonics. And we can maybe compare that and the motions of the waves that come from the vibrations of the plates moving.
Mm-hmm.
Something with that.
Yeah.
Then we can maybe somehow prove by studying the waves of the very sensitive seismology machine to see what direction the Earth is moving, what direction on the other side of the fault the Earth is moving in. And kind of prove it that way.
Excellent.
Thank you.
I've always been curious about why so when the plates move and it causes an earthquake out in the ocean, I've always been curious about why is it that some create tsunamis and others don't. Obviously, the size of the earthquake makes a difference, right? But I also wonder why some actually just get really crazy and then others you don't hear anything about. Like it must just make a little ripple in the water or something like that.
So it actually has to do with the land. So I believe I'm correct. I might be completely wrong. Sorry. But certain waves, I think shear waves, only go through liquids, not solids. And so when that happens, it goes through the liquid. So if it's in the middle of the ocean, it just kind of goes through the ocean and doesn't really go above the surface.
Mm-hmm.
But there's that wave, if it hits land, then it kind of starts just adding water up as the waves build up because it can't go through the land as well as it goes through the water. And that's why it builds up like a wall and then it goes over the island. Yeah, I think that's.
You are a genius. Okay, so what experiment could we do with that?
We could somehow fish the water out of the way. Then we could study the cracks caused by those unnoticed tsunamis or sort of situations.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow.
We could also, I don't know, I guess there would be some sort of an advanced buoy net, a bunch of them out there, just to really be able to study, at what size of the earthquake does it translate to what size of water movement type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do like how the requirements was come up with a series of experiments. I don't know how many that is, but that's 3 for us. 3 sounds pretty great.
It does, and he said it needs to go about 30 to 45 minutes. So how long has it been and how many have we made? Let's see how many we can.
Yeah, we're cruising, let me tell you.
Well, if we get your wave sort of situation, had it, I lost it, let me find it. We could maybe put a bunch of balloons out, like you said, that detect motion. It's all over the ocean, and just ignore PETA and all the other places that are going to be mad at us. Yeah. And we can maybe find where some of those unnoticed earthquakes happen. And then you should be able to see a pattern with that.
Excellent. You're definitely a scientist. Because you put that together way better.
Sorry, I forgot, what did you want to kind of go into?
Oh, well, I'm really just taking this class to fulfill my science requirements. I'm actually going into business, but I was just looking at the list of science stuff, and no joke, I just said, yeah, let's learn about some rocks, which I am learning is not what this class is going to be. No. So, but I'm actually enjoying it. It's pretty cool this week's getting into some pretty crazy stuff because I wasn't really thinking about, I live in Arizona and there's lots of deserts and stuff like that. And there's faults and everything all over the place that I don't really probably recognize, but they're there and they've been growing and everything like that all over the place. So
Yeah.
it'll be cool to recognize more of that stuff after this class.
Arizona is pretty amazing geologically. I mean, you're in the middle of, what was it, three different deserts? But you're one of the only states that have, I think you are the only state that has that many different vast deserts connecting. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I know Arizona's full of rocks, so it's got to be related to geology lots.
Okay, that's good.
Let's see. I think we should come up with at least one more experiment. There's got to be something to do with like studying how the plates relates to, or what causes like a plume from the mantle, and what causes like the lithosphere to thin and stuff like that at certain places. I don't know how we would necessarily be able to figure that out or figure out why certain parts of the lithosphere thin.
If we could shoot different waves, maybe even light, because light has dual wave particle capabilities. We could figure out some sort of frequency of light, shoot it into the earth, and we can get a picture, so to say, of what's happening, and then we could record it for a period of time, and then analyze it and make future predictions off of it to see that, like, how that all works out. Maybe. I don't know.
Excellent.
I don't know how to think like a rich person who has a bunch of time.
I'll come up with the ideas and you'll put it together. Let me tell you, this is working out great.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, that one would be pretty cool to do.
Or
I don't know where we'd have to do it, but it'd be pretty crazy.
we could invent lights and just kind of go into the core or into like volcanoes, and study there.
Now we're talking. That's
Now,
unlimited budget stuff.
Yeah. What could mountains? How could we use mountains to kind of prove the tectonics? Because they're when convergent tectonics come together. That's what kind of forms a mountain. And so how could we prove that? Like the Himalayas, study somewhere over there, find a Yeti. I don't know.
Yeah. Figure out how the first Yeti got launched up there.
Mm-hmm. Or lost.
Yeah. Actually, it'd be pretty cool if you could map out like where you think the next mashing of plates is going to happen. So you could, I mean, it'd be a long-term thing, unlimited time, but it'd be cool to like predict where it's going to be and then see if you're right. Like a new mountain range comes into play at some point.
They kind of did that in the lesson. If you looked how we're going in like, what was it, 50 million years, how the planets are going to kind of change, and I think it's goodbye Europe and Australia kind of comes up, and then we enter the new Pangea.
Mm-hmm.
You can see there the different ridges of where the Pangea kind of combines the different plates to make the new mountains. So I mentioned that in the book, I believe. Or not book, but online.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure on our future group activities there'll be more to discuss because he didn't really say like go into super detail, but I feel like we've come up with some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah.
I think. What do you feel?
Feel about what?
Do we keep trying? Like, because we're definitely not going to hit 45 minutes.
It said 30. We've made it 15 so far. If my calculations are correct. Which I'm really bad at math. But
Yeah, we've made it pretty good time.
Maybe we could expand on some of the ideas we've had so far. Really, just go into our fantasy world of geology and think of how we could really improve these experiments.
All right. So we had if we go in reverse, so we were talking about why certain parts are weak. I guess the last one was mountain ranges, trying to predict whatever. But that one's like forever. We're never really going to see any answer about that. But I guess we could post a book, and someday somebody would be like, you know, they were right.
Name a Pangea after us, you know, the next Pangea after us.
That would be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Before that, we were talking about why certain parts of the lithosphere thin.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you talked about diving into volcanoes.
I just think that would be cool.
That would be cool. I think it'd be cool to have any sort of vehicle. I remember there was some movie once where they're trying to make it seem like the Earth was dying, and so they had to drill into the Earth's core and set off a bunch of like nuclear charges. Does that ring a bell?
So many bells. I feel like 1,000 movies have been that. But
there was a movie about it, and they're trying to like recharge the Earth. So they actually had this crazy expensive like drill machine that they could go into the Earth, and then they set off charges in there. Anyways, but yeah, we'd have to come up with something like that. Then we could study a lot more stuff. We could actually drill into the Earth and be down there.
mm-hmm. We could find a way. Oh no, never mind. That's stupid. You made me think of Journey to the Center of the Earth. You ever heard of that movie?
I have heard of it.
Where they fall down to the center of the Earth. There's like a little mini.
Oh yeah, there's like a whole other ecosystem thing.
Mm-hmm. We could somehow find our way to the center of the Earth, like that. Be able to see the different. I don't know. I know they do what you're saying about drilling and looking inside. They do that a lot in Antarctica, and like Alaska and stuff, because you can see the different layers of the ice. They study that. Somehow, I don't know.
Yeah.
What about the balloon with all the balloons in the ocean? What could we further do with that?
Well, I mean, that one actually, you could use that probably for a lot of different stuff. But, because that could even probably come in handy when you're talking about just different weather events, hurricanes, and all this. Could probably provide a lot of information for those. And in addition to hopefully being able to measure those small or unnoticed earthquakes like we were talking about. Honestly, I think that experiment would be just more for like developing a better prediction of when a potentially big tsunami could occur and where it could be. Because there's probably something that goes along the lines of if there's a bunch of small ones in a certain area, at some point there'll be a large one.
Mm-hmm. Usually the aftershock is worse than the beginning. So if there's a bunch of small ones, that means that large ones. What if I was thinking just now when you were talking about the book, how I mentioned that the newer species, so to say, are kind of on the outside or near the edges of the plates, and how the older ones are in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
We could somehow find maybe a crack that happened from an earthquake or whatever, and go in it, do like a submarine in it, and find different fossils that are older.
That would be cool.
Yeah, match those up on the different places of the Earth and where they are.
That's another unlimited budget thing.
I know.
Honestly, I wonder what everybody would do if you told them all it was unlimited budget. We could probably start a ton of pretty cool stuff. But right now, it's just everything you start. It has to make sense. There has to be some real, genuine benefit to it at the end that's going to be worthwhile. So,
Mhm.
no, that would be cool to dive into cracks or even just study like ocean crusts and stuff like that, because it's pretty crazy to think about the new ocean crust is being formed and stuff like that as the plates move. And I'd like to go to a place where one's diving under another. I could see some studies being done right there, like the amount of friction that's happening when it's diving under, or whether it is just like it gives up and it's not actually that crazy. But
I wonder if there is a way, if we found a place where it started doing that, if we could, or that has already started doing that, and you have the whole, it's sliding under and it's kind of eating over, if we could find a way to slip something in between there that would pick up different information,
sweet.
kind of sneak it in a little.
Yeah, you could probably, because then you could whatever it is, it could send back the information of heat and like the rate at which it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be cool. And if you did that all over the Earth, you could figure out where's moving the fastest and where's not moving as fast, and that'd be cool. I like that one. I'm not exactly sure what else we'd learn other than how fast it moves, but
Well, it would prove that it's moving, because then it would show that one side is sliding down, the other part is kind of coming up.
yep. Look at that. We did all that stretching, and that was like 6 minutes.
That's so sad. How long has it been so far?
I think we're right at 20, like 20 or 24, something like that. Or no, it's a little less. I think we're pretty close to, yeah, it's just over 20 minutes.
Well, in work, you round things up by 7. So if I signed off at work at the 23, it would round it up to the 30. So this is kind of work.
I think we should apply that theory here.
Okay, I think he understands.
Yeah. So, Brother Shirtcliffe, we did good. There's just 2 of us for this meeting, so I think we did great.
Oh, yeah. So how do we get this and send it?
So I'll stop the recording, and then again, so it'll be a YouTube link that I can send to you via email.
Okay.
And then when you do the group quiz, you should be able to submit that link.
Sounds great. Thanks.
Sound good?
Okay, thank you.
All right. It was good chatting, Emily.
Yeah, good to see you.
See you on the next group project. Hopefully we'll be able to get all of us together. We should probably email or something or right now to try and schedule the next one so we can at least try and have more of them here. It's sort of tough when the one guy hasn't responded at all, but we'll get him.
We'll get him, yeah. Okay, well, bye.
All right. See ya.
See ya.